We got this from TMZ. Cardi B says, "Ice out of my concerts." They originally titled this that she jokingly threatens Ice. She's pulling no punches when it comes to Ice, telling her fans they'd better be ready to throw down if agents pop up at her shows. She didn't mince words Wednesday, opening her Little Miss Drama tour with La Cucaracha.
Really?
I like that song. Nice. Moments later, she fired off, "B, if Ice comes in here, we gun jump day A," drawing booming cheers from the crowd. She kept it going, joking, "I got some bear mace in the back. They ain't taking my fans, B," before launching into her hit song, "I Like It." So, was she friends with Nicki Minaj?
I think they actually have beef.
Yeah.
Well, I know now.
Oh, okay.
No,
I'm asking because Nicki Minaj is hanging out with Trump, and Cardi B is like the opposite.
This is the worst stuff too, because like, let's face it, like she would absolutely let her fans like try and start a fight with law enforcement, and she would be nowhere near that fight if it actually happened.
Everybody goes to jail. They all get wrapped up, and then
she's like, "What are you talking about?" Like, I was just trying to get everybody hyped.
I didn't say nothing, man.
How we go make American rappers more wholesome again? Can we start that new trend?
Everybody's got to be like Will Smith, right?
Yeah.
No swearing.
I mean, no, like at least be dressed nice or something, because you're promoting to other girls.
Yeah, I mean, look,
if
if you're saying everyone should be more like 50 Cent, then yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
what, petty, awesome, petty and awesome,
petty and awesome. Yeah.
Can you stop talking about your genitals or just a little bit, okay? But not, it's just like.
This is what all of
culture
the musicians are doing now, though, because what was it? I saw Doja Cat did the same thing. Like days after telling other celebrities to stop talking about, like, stop being so unmysterious and sharing so much of your personal life, she said, F Ice at a live concert. My favorite part is they do it overseas in places with stricter immigration policies than the U.S.
It's so frustrating.
I think they're just placating where the dollars are coming from, because. Yeah. It's like, it's all these celebrities. They make $20 million a movie, and then they get another $20 million from China, and then we have to pay $10 for popcorn and $10 for Coke, and then so they don't want to go.
Theater. That's the theater just remaking their investment because they're not making the money that the studios.
But it's also going back to the actors, and that's why the actors don't stand up for Trump, because they want to just kiss the ring of the producers, and they want that extra cash. So cash is it's a little bit like the root of all evil, I guess, and that's why they're not standing up for what's right. So yeah, grow some cojones, or in Brooklyn we say, what is it? Grow some coleones.
Okay,
I think that's what it is. I don't have a good Brooklyn accent anymore.
I imagine in Brooklyn now it's probably cojones as well.
Yeah, always cojones. Yeah,
a lot of Spanish speakers.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, this has been something that goes on in with artists or what have you. They've always been left leaning, or at least the majority left leaning. It got really bad from like 2013, 14 until, I mean, even still, it's pretty bad. But it really took off in like 2013, 14, 15. So this isn't a surprise. It's pretty boilerplate stuff. The fact that Nicki Minaj came out and said no. I'm actually against this stuff was the go against the grain of position. So as much as it's not shocking. Right. It's what you should expect.
I just laugh when the comments are like, how brave they can be standing up for what they believe.
Yeah.
Saying exactly the same thing as literally everybody else in the industry. Oh, the other one was, I think Lady Gaga was talking about Ice in like Italy or something like that. I'm like, they're just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I thought they were the same person for a long time.
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. Yeah.
I was like,
you saying black people look alike? No, I'm just kidding.
No, just them.
Yeah, that's them.
Yeah, they've done songs together, and I kind of feel like this is the what's the right word? I want to say epitome, but kind of the inflection point of civil war.
Nicki Minaj and Cardi B.
Yeah, that's right.
Pick sides.
I mean, that's the actual movie version of this act probably does say something like, because when you get the movie made, it's like something absurd is what finally sets everything off.
But I'm just saying that like Nicki Minaj and Cardi B are fighting to the point where it's very much like the Troubles. Like I brought this up, if you go to Northern Ireland, one side of the wall is pro-Palestine, one side's pro-Israel, and you're like, what does that have to do with Ireland? And that's where I'm at right now. Like Nicki Minaj is hanging out with Trump and conservatives, and I feel like it's just because they hate each other so much, they went opposite ends politically. Yeah, and that's the only reason.
I don't know if Cardi B considers herself a Christian, but Nicki Minaj talks about God a lot and stuff. So I don't know that is reflected in her music
Yeah.
Specifically, I think that it's still very risque, for lack of a better term. But yeah, it at the very least it makes sense because again, she does consider herself a Christian. She talks about God a lot.
Oh, she was born in Trinidad.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Don't remember her. Oh yeah, part of the reason might
And
be because,
Tobago.
because her cousin had his balls swelled up. She was talking about this during COVID. He got the shot and his balls swelled up, and that was a big
Wait,
deal.
who did?
Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj's cousin.
Remember?
Yeah, was.
Oh yeah, his balls got big.
Yeah,
But remember
they swell
Luke
up.
used
Use
to
the
have
slap chopper,
the
chop it up.
picture? Luke used to have the flag of Nicki Minaj flying outside.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. She's been based for a long time.
Yeah, so it might
shout out
be
Nicki,
it might
all
be because of it might have got the start in the COVID stuff when she got a bunch of crap for saying that her cousin's balls.
Well, that's one of the things. You mentioned God. I want to bring just a prayer. Doesn't have to be a religion. Just a prayer in schools again, so kids know that there's a God, because that's another thing we need to bring back. So hopefully that'll be one of my policies. It's just a prayer, and if you don't believe in God, just meditate. So for the week. So then that makes kids think maybe to be better to themselves, better to their friends, and they'll be better versions of themselves, just like
She's
Charlie used to say.
She's basically from Venezuela. Yeah,
Minaj,
Trinidad's an island, like literally just separated by 10 miles. Yeah.
I had no idea that they were that close. I thought it was more further out in the Caribbean.
I don't like it when they name things like that. Trinidad and Tobago, St. Kitts and Nevis. Now, you to have one name, Nevis.
Well, I wonder what the history around that is.
I don't know. As long if it's not America, I'm not interested in hearing about it.
The other one that's going on in Hollywood right now is the pre-sale tickets are really high for Scream 7, and there was supposed to be a boycott for Scream 7 because Melissa Barrera got fired from the movie because of her support for Palestine, and the studio fired her. So you really can't escape politics in Hollywood no matter what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Slow news day.
Trinidad was
Should be
named.
called Unholywood.
Trinidad was actually named by Columbus in 1498 because he named it La Isla de la Trinidad, the island of the Trinity, in honor of the Holy Trinity.
Do you feel like slow news days are more common than they were before? Or is it like that the some days they're so big and there's so much to talk about that it bleeds over into the next day?
Kind of. I kind of feel like people's brains have turned to jello.
Yeah. I mean, I feel that way sometimes. Like when
I'm telling you, dude, people don't understand the effect AI is having on our brains. And so much, and social media.
social media.
I think the issue is that the TikTok style Instagram feed. Let me just put it like this way: I predicted this, and I will predict it further. So I warned all of you that the big tech companies were intentionally shifting away from long form content because long form content was resulting in informed populations who were voting against their wishes. And how you destroy that is you make the machine not capable of long form. So what happens now is the short attention span content cycle. If I pull up my phone and I go to Instagram, every single video I get is completely different from the one before or after it. And so what does my psyche then look like? There's no through line.
And
there's no
you
point A,
take
point
in
B.
very little of what you're looking at most of the time. If you're looking at short form content,
And it's mostly just videos of fights at fast food restaurants.
mine's not that.
Like
Mine's,
America's Funniest Videos on
content,
crack.
though.
Mine's carpentry videos and then soccer skills games. I don't play soccer or like soccer.
I think the plan has been, and again, we've talked about this years ago, with the emergence of TikTok, why we are banned from TikTok. And that may be remedied now that the platform got sold.
Oh, yeah.
But I believe that we were banned because our show is high-level conversational, philosophical, current news and events.
No, even we got banned. We're none of those things on our channel. We are not high level nor
Pop
philosophical.
Culture Crisis got banned?
On TikTok, yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
Because the machine's rigged. The machine is rigged, and they want only certain voices. And so the end result is, look, if you're in control, if you have power and wealth, you don't want people getting power. There was a post on Reddit. They have these subreddits that pop up sometimes, like hypothetical scenarios is one of them. And it said, you wake up one day with the powers of Superman. In exactly 1 year, another person will also be granted the power of Superman. You know who this person is. It happens every year, and there's one way to stop them. Do you do it?
I mean, it's just do you lose the power of Superman?
No, there'll just be 2, then 3, then 4, then 5.
It's supposed to bother me if there's another Superman.
Every comment was, I'd kill them instantly.
Evil.
And they said, it's because I can trust myself with power, but I can't trust you. And I'm like, now you understand the mentality of literally every human ever. The idea that if they're like, the billionaires are bad, I guarantee you take any one of these lefties and you make them a billionaire and they will become identical to Elon Musk in 2 seconds.
Well, no, actually, I think that Elon Musk is probably a better billionaire than most of these.
That's true.
lefties would
That's
be.
true. Yeah. They will cling to their power. They'll refuse to give it up. They'll say no, and they will lie about how, no, I wouldn't do that.
I think one thing we're missing on power is, because I don't want to say what cult I was in, but it's a pretty strong cult. I don't want to start a fight with them. But I learned that I learned that obviously power corrupts. Absolutely, power corrupts. Absolutely. But there's something that was missing. Power is enjoyable. It's a pleasure when you can control the masses. So I think when like Trump or even like your show, when you make people smarter, you're taking them away from that power. So it's like the drug addict doesn't have that power anymore over them. So you're taking their joy away. I think that's the manifestation that's happening with people like your show. We make people smarter, as opposed to like, America's Funniest Videos on crack on TikTok or something. So I'm just saying that there's a truth there, I think.
I think there may be something beneficial in the long run, though, in that it's going to result in it may result in localization, meaning that if I can't trust national level social media to be meaningful, then people who are looking for meaning and purpose are going to find it closer to home, whether it's good or bad.
Well, it just depends on whether they're actually looking for that. How many of the people that are on social media are doing that because they're looking for meaningful information? Certainly the audience here, which is looking to stay engaged in national politics. Me and you have had the discussion, or we've had the discussion about like how easy it is to just check out. But then the people who say, well, you might not care about politics, but politics cares about you. So your audience is automatically engaged because they believe it's something that they need to pay attention to. Like when I'm scrolling social media, I'm like half the time I'm barely paying attention to what I'm doing. And even when we're talking about something like X, where it's stuff that you read, I'm not as engaged with that as I am if I'm doing something like when I was in school. I retained more of what I learned than what I do when I watch documentaries and stuff now, because I'm not paying as close attention and it's not as structured of a situation as it was when I was in a classroom. And that's all the ways you get your information now, whether that's YouTube, whether that's, getting information on X, if you're reading articles and things like that. It's very hard to retain that information unless your goal is to sit, like when you're doing it to put together information for a show or news or things like that.
Look, David Pakman made a YouTube video claiming Trump pooped. I'm like, guys, he got 2 million views on it. If you want to compete in a space where everybody's just screaming at the top of their lungs and bashing their faces on the wall, you got to be like David Pakman. Just lie,
It's not even, it's lying, but it's not even lying about anything that's worth even discussing. It's just, you don't like Donald Trump, so let's say something that will mock Donald Trump, He knows his audience, obviously, and it works for him. 2 million views. You can't say
that's money in the bank. He probably made like 20 grand off that.
Do you think that some of your video?
No, let me do the math. He probably, maybe $10,000 or $15,000.
Do the videos that you do you find a gap between the stuff you're like extremely interested in, and then are there clips that surprise you that do as well as they do?
No. I know when a video is going to not do as well, but I'll make it anyway. Like AI videos tended to do so well, but I'm interested in it. It matters, and I'll talk about it.
We have those topics. We have specific, we have celebrities that get covered that we know people aren't going to care about.
Right.
We cover Kanye. Nobody cares when we cover it.
I guess the issue is if you want to be competitive in the business, you got to make ice cream that people want to buy.
Yeah.
The analogy I always used was I told the story on the morning show the other day. I had a buddy who was playing some weird genre of music 20 some odd years ago. And I told him, I was like, hey man, you guys are really talented, but you're playing music that nobody listens to. Maybe you should try and make just some kind of like pop rock stuff too. You write a couple of those songs, then you can sell them all in a package. And he's like, no, you're wrong, man. Trust me. Like, you got to be ahead of the curve on this one. And I was like, brother, you are selling asparagus flavored ice cream. Nobody wants to buy it. Why don't you make some chocolate? And that's the reality, is that right now, chocolate ice cream is AI generated videos of men in T-Rex costumes punching women. You want to get it, bro? You know what the trend is right now? You want to talk about black pilled? Videos getting 20 million views, and it's a series of Instagram channels called Day One of Doing. Have you seen these?
No.
Yeah. Day one of scraping, of digging a hole through my wall with a spoon.
Oh my God.
And it's got 20 million views. And it's a guy just scraping a wall with a spoon for like 3 minutes. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.